Welcome back, folks, to another episode of the channel. I'm Gabriel Morales, and welcome to the first ever episode of Liquid Sessions, where we unbottle different bottles of booze and talk about it. I am here with Wellta Boualaphanh.
Hello.
Wellta, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the first episode. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Wellta Boualaphanh. I'm a fashion designer and I make aprons. Recently, due to the pandemic, I've been helping out with making masks as well. And I've been working with folks in the industry. And also, if you haven't already seen all the beautiful aprons that Gabriel has been wearing and rocking. So those were the aprons that I've handcrafted myself.
You made those aprons from scratch, am I right?
Yes. Cut to sew, fabric sourcing, everything.
So if anybody is interested in checking out Wellta's content, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Today we're tasting 3 different mezcals, starting from a $35 to $40 range, which is the Mezcal Vida here, and going all the way up to $160. Do you have any experience with mezcal?
I do, thanks to you and our recent trip to Oaxaca. Well, not so recent, but that was like a few years ago.
I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago already now. No, it was more like 3.
Yeah, I think it was 3 years ago. It was pretty amazing. I think it's one of those special places that I probably would go back like a million times.
I can safely say that out of all the trips that we've taken, that's both of our favorite trip that we've taken ever.
Right, I agree. I think it's a little bit of everything, you know, food, culture, spirits, people. So we were able to, you know, get the best of both worlds as far as like what Gabe wanted to do and what I wanted to do. And yeah, it was really just all about going and exploring the Oaxacan culture and eating our way through.
When we went to Oaxaca, actually, the trip wasn't based to go to Oaxaca, which was the funny thing. You mentioned to me that you wanted to go to Mexico City. So I already been to Mexico twice before, or actually 3 times before that. And I said, well, you know what? If we're gonna go to Mexico, let's go to Oaxaca. Did you know anything about Oaxaca before we went there?
Nope, no clue.
No clue.
I had no clue at that time. I had no reservations. I just wanted to pack my backpack and just go somewhere different and just really just explore and have our own adventure and just create new memories.
Mezcal has been around since the 1600s. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first distillate in the Western Hemisphere. Like I said, it dates back in the 1600s. It's made out of agave. Now, the rules of mezcal are a little bit tricky and they change and evolve throughout time, but mainly comes from the state of Oaxaca, and it can be made with many different agave types, unlike tequila, which can be made only out of one type of agave. This one in particular is 100% agave espadín, which is the main agave used for mezcal. This is from Del Maguey. People get a little bit confused sometimes. Del Maguey is actually a producer. They do not make the mezcal. They go to different villages, and that's why it's called single village mezcal. Is they go to different villages and find families that make this amazing juice, and they produce it and import it to the United States and other countries as well. This one is more focused on cocktail making. So a lot of bars carry this as their spirit, and they use it for Negronis, mezcal margaritas, and so on and so forth. It's a bit smoky. Let's smell it.
Nice.
It's a bit smoky compared to other mezcals. This rates for about $30 to $40 depending on where you live. I think we got this for like $35 probably.
40.
Oh, really? It was on
Yeah.
the 40 range?
39.99
I've seen it for
plus
like,
tax.
Yeah, this is actually my go-to mezcal for like cocktail making. But I also drink it neat a lot of time alongside with a beer or something like that after a shift. Salud.
Salud. I love the smell, the smokiness.
You also smell like tropical fruit and like earthy vegetal notes.
You get a little bit of tanginess. Ooh, I feel it in my chest just a little bit.
It burns a little bit because it's actually not a 40%. Well, typical well spirits or people use spirits to mix in, they're usually 40% alcohol. This one's 42% alcohol, which is slightly, you're gonna have a slightly afterburn to it, but it's not as quiet as overproof as other things.
It's beautiful. Do you, because it's a spirit, I mean, you don't have to swirl it or anything, do you? I mean, is that more of a wine thing?
You can swirl it. I don't really, they actually, I've met some of the ambassadors for Mezcal. They recommend you not to swirl it. And they also recommend you to take it neat and not take it as a shot, even though I'm sure you've done it as shots. I've done it as shots too. No, but this one they actually do recommend to take it neat, just to, it's a more artisanal type of spirit, and they want you to really taste that and really respect it in that sense of matter.
Right. I like it. It's beautiful. I mean, I was
for
always...
$35 to $40. This is actually really freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can drink this no matter what. What's your favorite drink with this?
Well, I always love a good mezcal Negroni.
I knew you were gonna say that.
So I can do that all day long. What else? I do like it neat. I think I've learned to appreciate it neat through you.
Yeah.
I'm an amateur at all this, so I'm just here for the drinks and to taste. But other than that, Gabe has introduced me and educated me on mezcal and other spirits, and to learn the appreciation of the craft and how it was made and things like that. So I think, for me, not being in the bar industry, it has really taught me and I think as the years went by, like my palate has become like a little bit more sophisticated and things like that. So
I think that's with everyone. When I started bartending, I didn't know anything. Yeah. I didn't know that mezcal existed. I didn't even know much about tequila. I actually didn't even know what Jim Beam was. Like that. I started like as a rookie.
I think it's the best way that you've sort of learned, just through tasting, pretty much. I mean,
well, for spirits like these, I think it's very interesting to compare and contrast and just taste it by itself. I mean, everybody has a different palate. You're gonna taste something that I'm not gonna taste, and our viewers are gonna taste something different that we don't taste too. But it's I think it all comes down to just the appreciation of the spirit. The bottle says that it has on the nose heightened fruit aromas, hints of honey, vanilla, which I do get. I do get the fruit aromas in the nose. I really didn't get, interestingly, the honey and the vanilla. I guess I
got the vanilla.
You got the vanilla? That's interesting. In the palate, it says you get ginger, cinnamon, sandalwood, banana, tangerine, and roasted agave with a long, smooth finish. I definitely get like those spices in the mouth, in the palate. You get like a little bit, I get a little bit of vegetalness of the agave, like that.
What do you mean by vegetalness?
Kind of like green. I don't know. Like I get like green notes, like kind of like slightly grassy.
I've never heard that before, but that's the first. I've learned something new.
It's how I paint it. It's like a canvas, and you paint all the things that you taste.
Right. It's
not right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what you kind of taste.
Right. I mean, I get it. Like I think I'm only used to like hearing words like earthiness or nuttiness and things like that, but
I don't know why.
Now that when you said vegetal, I was like,
yeah, I like to use that.
Sure.
definitely for sure use that a lot in my videos for when I make the cocktails.
Yeah. Is it to like contrast from the difference between like something being more like fruity?
I guess it is.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense. Okay.
I think in that note, we should move on to the next one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you
I'm excited.
do you know anything about this?
No, besides the bottle looks
The bottle
beautiful.
might be familiar to some. Actually, don't know much, if anything, at all about this particular style of Rey Campero. I do know about Rey Campero. I've had their mezcal before. At the bar that I work at, we carry a Madre Cuishe, which is a Madre Cuishe, but it's spelled. I think it's here. No, it's not on this one. This one is what they call a ensemble, or a variety of mezcal.
I heard of that word.
Yes. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 styles of agave.
Wow. So
it's kind of like now we're getting into the territory of like they take different things and blend it together, like different.
Is that common?
It is a common practice. It's not like the most popular thing to buy in the retail store. So like the more popular mezcals are going to be something like this, which is just one style of agave.
Is that because it's like more pure? Like I don't know if that's a good way of like explaining it.
What do you mean by pure?
Like okay, like say you're using.
Well, like they're all pure because they're all 100% agave.
Right,
it's just,
but to mix and blend it, that changes the science of it, no? Like it.
Not really the science. It just changes the texture, the flavor. The terroir is different because some of the agaves have different terroir. So now we're getting into wine territory. Shout out to Vino that he knows a lot about wines and he'll get you covered in 60 seconds. Unlike this video would probably be like 60 minutes.
Hi Vino, I like your mixtapes.
Oh yeah, these mixtapes, those are cool. Those are pretty
yes,
cool.
I can't wait for his new album drops.
So this has 4 styles of agave. Depending on the agave, the terroir would change. So like the temperatures will change and that affects the flavor of the agave. Some are wild that people had to go up mountains and like find these rare species of agaves that just, they grow one in every like 12 to 15 years. So the process for making this is like really takes a long time. I am cracking the bottle open for the first time.
Woohoo! I'm
this
excited.
Retails for a whopping, I think it's about $150. I'll probably put it around here somewhere if I find the correct pricing on this. I'm just gonna pour a little bit.
I'm excited. It's a lot of.
This is the first time we both have this. It's a lot of what? Sorry.
It's a lot of information to take in for sure. Like even after the trip in Oaxaca and learning a little bit more about mezcal, it was just a lot to really take in. Like even if you're a sponge, but I think it's just the best way is just to really, you know, sip your way through and just taste.
We can talk about it like forever, but like it's. After you actually see it and then you taste their product, I think it actually tastes even better.
Yeah.
Because like you learn about these families and their living conditions, and some of their living conditions were really rough.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. There's
just these families. Like the first guy that we saw, he had a huge pit, which for the people that don't know, for mezcals in comparison to tequila, instead of like cooking it in like oven style, they make an underground pit and it's huge. It can fit lots of things. So if they fit dozens and dozens and dozens of agaves and they like cover it up and they smoke it. So that's where you get that smoky taste out of mezcal. And then, yeah, so this person, he was doing this in his backyard. Like his house was, he had so much open field. But it looked like a garage, like a 3-car garage and something like that. It kind of like open, and he had that pit right outside. Hopefully, if I find pictures, you'll see some of the pictures while I'm talking right now. But yeah, it's like quite remarkable to even see some of his family. Like he had like probably it was like a 16-year-old kid that was helping him, and then there were like little girls helping him too, going out to the field and just finding agaves, which is pretty crazy.
Well, that's how you normally would do it, and then that's where like the appreciation comes in. Like especially a lot of businesses and things like that. That's how they start.
Yeah.
Sometimes in your backyard and in your garage, and you get your family to help you. But
Right.
it was really cool to be able to like support them locally and things like that, and to be able to like witness that.
I wish I still had some of his bottles. So the cool thing about this bottle, hopefully I can get it focusing. So hopefully you can see this, but you can get all the types of information for this bottle right here. You get the class, the village, the grind, the type of still, distillation, and production date. It's pretty cool. You got some cool information. Yeah, this is bottle. There's only 360 bottles of these. This is bottle
pretty
187.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
I love the craftiness of it. Yeah, I'm a sucker for good labeling. So what's the difference with ABV, and like is it based on
Oh my god, you gotta try that.
how it's made? Wow, the smell is completely different from the first one. The first one's a little bit more like you get spicy notes, but this one, you know what this one reminds me of? A little bit of the what was it that they called that they use like the chicken?
Oh, the pechuga?
The pechuga? Yeah, I thought that was
Taste
pretty
it.
amazing. That reminds me of the pechuga. Ooh, this one's nice. I'm surprised you're getting that reaction to that, because my reaction was to the first one. So it's probably our taste palette that's a little bit different from each other.
The second sip went harsher than the first sip, but this, let me see the ABV on this. It's 48%, so it's much higher proof. The cool thing about some of the mezcals, some of them are not watered down at all. Some of them are watered down a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. So I think it's because they like how it just tastes straight out of the still, and they try not to water it down.
Oh, this one's 42.
Yeah, this one's 48. It's a little bit harsher, but it doesn't. Let me just taste it again. That shit's so beautiful. It's so good. Now that's a long finish. I'm still getting like notes of stuff.
Yeah, you can still taste it in your tongue, just even after you like swallow it, but in a good way. Like I feel like the first one made me feel like my chest burned just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And this one is definitely a lot smoother.
It still warms you up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, look at you. You're all red.
Am I red?
You're a little pink.
I'm a little pink.
Yeah, but I do like it's not as earthy as the first one.
It's more fruity.
Yeah.
But it's not sweet.
No. Well, that's the uniqueness about mezcal, because it's made from 100% agave.
Like the clay ones?
I think we saw different methods of how they made it, which was really cool.
Yeah, but this... Oh no, the grind. So they use copper stills. This is what I said. The grind is the stone, the big stone that sometimes they use like a little tractor. Remember that one place that had like, was it a donkey or a horse?
It was a donkey. Yeah, I still have pictures. So we'll probably hopefully you can post it so they can see it. Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see and witness. This one definitely gives you some heat, like temperature wise. Like your body is, I feel a little warm and fuzzy on the inside. That's for sure. Cheers.
Cheers. One is a pretty brand new release. So I understand it comes from the Mezcaleria Insitu, which we passed by through this mezcaleria, but we tried to go in, but they said we didn't have reservations. We couldn't go in, unfortunately. This one, so Mezcaleria Insitu is a place, it's kind of like a tasting menu bar. So you get a map and they give you all these different mezcals that is only produced for them. And they sell it at this bar, and they let you taste it, and they'll point it out on the map, and they'll talk to you about the mezcal, and they'll tell you the history and whatnot. So here's a little picture of the guy that actually makes it, actually.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
He pretty much inspired us to wear our hats
That's
today.
why we're wearing hats today.
I thought it was really pretty cool. I would hang out and drink mezcal with him all day long, besides Gabe.
This is actually just a single agave. This is 100% agave SP, which was in the blend of the previous mezcal at 45.39%, so slightly lower ABV than the other one.
Wait, what does the SP mean?
SP, that's the agave.
Agave SP, because the second bottle had that also on there.
Yeah,
but
so
not the first bottle.
Not the first one, no. So the second bottle, the Rey Campero, had the SP agave, but the first one doesn't. The first one is only espadín.
Does it mean anything like special or something? I
don't know. It's just that type of agave. There's over 100 and something agave types. There's only around 50 or 70 that you can use for mezcal. I can't remember. Anyways, this is the logo for the mezcaleria.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like a little bunny rabbit, like a really sort of
that's the logo.
Is that the word? Indigenous?
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love the bottle and the craftiness of it.
Oh no.
So, anyways.
Okay.
I don't know. I just thought I sniffed this. Is it like weird? Like sniffing like a wine cork?
Whatever you want.
Well, I love the bottle, even the color.
Yeah, the bottle's really cool.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for... So what's the difference with this one in price range?
I think this one retails for $160.
Ooh.
So it's not cheap.
No, not at all.
Give it a taste.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. Ooh, the smell is very different on this one. You could definitely smell the smokiness
too.
I haven't even tasted it, but
oh my god,
I love the smokiness of mezcal. I think that's what's a winner, or what's...
A lot of people don't like that smokiness, but I don't think this one is as smoky as the other one. Taste it. The taste is the taste doesn't taste as... Oh my god, I can't say what I wanted to say. The taste isn't as smoky as the other one. It's so different.
Wow. It's very different. It's so unique. I mean, you guys will have to taste it for sure. I mean, are you supposed to kind of like swish it around your mouth a little bit and then like swallow it?
You can, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like one specific way of how you should do things. Like for blind tasting, you can, and that would like help you distinguish one thing to another. But wow, that is like super earthy.
Yeah, this one's very earthy.
It's like very funky too.
It's
kind of wild.
Isn't that your thing? You like it a little bit funky.
I do.
Like that kind of
this one's
earthy.
This one's super weird. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Well, this one is fermented in clay pots.
That's why. That's
fermented in clay pots and also distilled in clay pots. That's super unique. But the fermentation was in those wooden vats.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. And they had like crosses on each of them.
Yeah.
I mean.
So that's cool. That tastes so weird, but like it tastes really good.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like after tasting like this would be a thing like if you give this to someone, they would be confused of what it is, you know? Because it's not as smoky.
Yeah.
But it tastes kind of strange, but it tastes good, and then you're like, wait, what is that?
You know what's kind of funny and weird, or I mean not weird, but it's got a little bit of that barrel and clay taste to it, but also like it's got a little bit of like it tastes like the smell of lipstick. I know this is strange, all right? And I know a lot of you guys probably may not know this because, I mean, you probably don't own lipstick, but I'm saying, I mean, I'm sure maybe your mom or sister has, you know, or you played with lipstick or whatnot, but.
Did you play with lipstick?
No, but it does. Like, it's got this interesting sort of like back notes to it.
I mean, I guess that's what weird means in this case.
No, I really think it's just the clay pots and how it was made. Because that affects it, obviously, right? The method of how.
Well, it's also where the agave comes from, too. And it's only that one agave. That's really good.
Well, what's your favorite so far?
I don't know. I would drink all of them in different scenarios. Like, I would only mix with this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Vida. Like, I wouldn't not like mix with the other two.
Yeah.
But I would drink this alongside with a beer by itself.
Yeah, or you could still take it as shots, you know, and still appreciate
really
it.
Want, yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. I've definitely done a lot of shots of those. It's so hard to choose. I don't think I can pick a favorite.
Yeah, it's very unique in its own way. I agree with you. The first bottle, the Del
Maguey Vida.
Maguey, that one I can definitely either drink neat or have it as a mezcal Negroni all day.
Okay, so let's say this. Would you spend over $100 for either of these two bottles of mezcal?
Yes, this one. This one would be my favorite.
Oh yeah?
I want to say.
Interesting.
Yeah, this one I think it will grow on me, only because of that sort of like, it's like super earthiness and funkiness and that sort of like lingering long notes of like what you're unsure of, like that aftertaste. But yeah, this is, I mean, I appreciate it because I know that it's made well using, like, you know, the clay pot techniques, and like that's like ancient, no? Isn't that something that they've done like many years or whatnot? I mean, decades.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't know. I will definitely buy either of these, but I see what you're saying. I'll probably buy more this one. Yeah. I guess it's because it's like more familiar. But man, I wouldn't mind spending my money again on a bottle like this.
I wouldn't, because we've tasted it already. But then to buy it for somebody as a gift might be a little bit like iffy, only because like
I guess it depends on the person that you're giving it to.
Yeah, it has to be a special person that you know would appreciate it just as much as.
Well, even this, like spending $150 on something like this is not easy task. Like you don't want to give it to any person that won't appreciate it.
No, of course not, because it's
you
just.
Gotta have, like, they kind of have to know at least a basis of the spirit to kind of appreciate it.
I agree.
If you want to get someone into mezcal, I would definitely go with our first bottle, Del Maguey Vida. There's other options as well, but this is actually a really good way to start. A little bit smoky, someone that wants to get their way into mezcal, maybe have it as a margarita first. This makes a really good margarita. I would use the Tommy's Margarita spec. You could probably batch it. See my YouTube video on how to batch the margaritas.
So good.
This is weird. It's so, I mean, it still got some. You know, it's super smooth, but it's definitely strange. Like, it's so like very grassy and like earthy.
Does it have any sort of description as far as like on the labeling?
Limited edition ancestral mezcal made with wild and farmed agaves.
So wild, the cap comes off.
It's so wild that it comes off.
That was pretty cool to see the wild agave plant. Is that what you call it?
So it says it's made with wild and farmed and cultivated agaves. So it's both wild and cultivated.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I'm feeling it now though, and we only have a little bit. It's starting to get a little fuzzy and warm.
Yeah, it really doesn't take much. That's for sure. Thank you so much for having me on your first liquid session, and I appreciate the opportunity and the
I'm glad
tasting and making more memories.
I'm glad you decided to join in. I think if I was doing this by myself, it would have been a little bit harder for sure. I feel more comfortable talking with someone than I would imagine that just talking by myself would get boring pretty quickly. But for all of you that just stayed all the way through the end, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys enjoyed or had some thought or had like a really cool information that you gathered from this. Start a conversation down in the comments down below. Let me know if you would like to see other liquid sessions. I'm planning to invite outside guests. That might be interesting to see like different spirits. And if you're interested in us talking about a specific type of spirit, leave it in the comments below as well. Make sure to follow at Wellta on all social platforms. You can follow me at Liquid Memoir. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Thanks again. We'll see you the next time.
See ya. Thank you. Cheers. Hello. Microphone sound check. Testing. 1, 2, 3. And we're here live with Gabriel Morales for Liquid Memoir.
First episode of Liquid Session, take 1. Where we where